Okay, right. It gives me great pleasure to introduce episode 142 of the Fan Roundtable. We begin again the fifth year of Sussex by the Sea podcast. All our hopes and dreams begin again. Obviously, from a Hastings point of view, that nightmare is over, and hopefully, this is the dawn of a beautiful fairy tale season. But we will see. Oh, there he is. And talking of beautiful, Rob from Folkestone appears. Oh yeah, I've got camera issues, Rob, so that's why I'm not on. It's not I'm naked or anything or touching myself. Okay, so just don't make any of those accusations, please. But so it's obviously getting all of you lot on now, talk your pre-season, see how you think your clubs are shaping up. But first of all, I hope you've all had a great summer and welcome back.
Good to be back.
Yeah, nice to be back. I'll talk to you again, folks.
Yeah, great stuff. So obviously we've got John from Canvey, Rob from Horsham, and Rob from Folkestone. Right, gentlemen, who wants to kick off? No, go on then. Right, so over to that the Lardy boy. Over to the Lardy boy. Like your season. Let's just talk about it already. What I like about Dom is he's not one for he's all about the next season. He's all about the next season, and there's no keeping on board people that are going to only make up the numbers that that you might keep on for sentimental reasons. I see obviously Daniel Ajkai's gone. Getting some good faces in there. How do you feel it's shaping up?
Yeah, obviously it's first of all it's good to be back, but yeah, I think it's tough, really, isn't it, with pre-season? I think the players that are left, like you mentioned, Dan, Dicko, Joel Daly, I think none of them were surprised. I think we kept a couple that a lot of fans would be surprised by, only a couple, but I think speaking to Dom after the game from when we won promotion, he wanted to keep that core players, and you could see that all 15, 16 who turned up to pre-season last season stayed and were committed, so that's good. You're always worried that you might lose a few because of travel commitments or whatever and work commitments, but no, I know we're going for a smaller squad this season. I think the budget's generous enough. I think it's decent enough by all accounts. What I've heard, it's not massive, but it's not little by standards. So,
Rob, what is it in terms of in terms of the league? What are they saying?
Well, yeah,
is it kind of a mid-level budget or low mid-level?
It depends. If you speak to Dom, it's going to be bottom of the basement, kind of in that league budget. I think if you look at it, it's probably just above relegation budget. To be fair, you're in that bottom half. I think the league's so tough. You look at it. 11 teams in that league are full time. So if you broke the league down, it's effectively 11 teams. There's always one that jumps out the pack. Ebbsfleet, I think, was full time. Eastbourne Borough, a couple of seasons were full time and were struggling against relegation. I know they did well last season. So it doesn't automatically, there's some big boys, and when you've only got one going up, there's that, isn't there? There's that petition to go three up. Because you usually get a bottleneck. Try not to sound like Mark White, but you do get that bottleneck, and you can see it in the leagues, and it's effectively from League Two, League One, and you can see it getting filtered down to the non-league level. It's such a competitive league; it's brutal. I think I quite like what Dom's come out and said. We're going to attack the league. I think I don't like this. We just want to avoid relegation. I think that's such a shit way of looking at it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I think we will upset. We signed a few. We've signed 3 players. I don't know if they're going to be good enough or not. Like I say, pre-season players don't really. It's the first 10 games of the league, isn't it? Yeah. Everyone will say that. We signed 3 strikers, which I think we've got Roberts in, Botti in, and Gianluca Botti, and we've got Reece Murphy from Dorking, who's injury prone, but hopefully can bring the experience and do what Dicko did at that level. So yeah, it's going to be tough. We're going to enjoy. It's new grounds to go to. It's going to be fun. I think we need a couple more players, if I'm being brutally honest. I think the core of the teams, I still think, like I say, goals are an issue, but we'll upset a few. I know we will. We play decent football, we play good football. It's a tough start. We're away at Chelmsford. They're chucking money at it. That league is big boys' league now, really. Yeah. So no, it's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. It'll be really intriguing to see how we start. First 10, like we got Chelmsford, we're at home to Worthing, and then midweek away to Chesham. So, looking at it, one moment I'm thinking, oh, we do all right here. The next minute I'm thinking, above relegation. But I think we'll be all right. I think we'll put up a good sword fight and see what happens. It's at this time of the season, it's everyone's, and I think if you look at it I was speaking to someone inside the club, and it's like the last 5-6 years, if you've only followed the club once we've moved into our new ground, or even in the last 5-6 years, you've started coming. you've only known anything but success. So it's going to be really good when we do hit dodgy patches. What these players are going to have to react. The manager's going to have to react. It's just, like I say, I think he's come out and said the right things. Let's just go for it, and we'll see what happens. It's going to be great fun, regardless for us. We'll see. As long as we put up a fight, I can't.
That's all you can want, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. We'll just sit here and go, we're going to go for promotion. It's tough, isn't it? Like, I think if we avoid relegation, then I think you pretty much ripped up trees. I think there's a lot of teams. Like, you've got that top 11 that are top heavy, and then after that, it feels like that's the table that we're in, and that's the table that you need to be mid-table. 15th, 16th, I think would be an unbelievable season. But let's just, like, it's the first time dipping our toes in the water, and let's just go for it. So, it's going to be great fun.
What's the fan base, Rob? What's the fan base saying? Because I mean, there must be a number of away days they're looking forward to as well. But like
I think
how do they feel that it's going to go?
Well, when the fixtures obviously got released, everyone was looking at Bath away, Torquay away, and obviously Dorking games are always going to be around that bank holiday time, so they're always good fun. I think most of the fans, 95% of our fans are realistic. We're now getting that 5%, which I call new fan base, which every team gets, which I think are a little bit more. They're the ones that panic over a pre-season game. We haven't started that well. You can't see them clicking well. Last year we clicked really well in pre-season, but you can't. I can't stand pre-season. I'm not going to sit here and say I hate them. And I know Dom does, and most of the players do. So it's hard. But most of the fan base, I think, are realistic. We've got a good bunch down there. We've made record sales on our season tickets, so which is always going to be the case. You always get people jumping on, don't you? You've got Torquay. Now Andy Carroll's coming to that league, and he's coming down to Horsham if he's not injured. That brings a few more through the gate. So most of our fans will be all right. I'm really intrigued to see what happens if we do hit, like, we don't win in 2 or 3 months. A couple of losses and some draws or whatever. Then to see what happens, I'm more intrigued on that kind of thing as well.
It's just the key is just not to panic, isn't it? It's
exactly, and that is what it is. And you will get murmurings inside the ground. I've heard internal things as well as externally about the club and the fans and things. So it's going to be fun. But I think most of them will stick. You can't really have a pop at the players or Dom or whatever what he's done recently. He's the most successful manager we've ever had. So let's give him a bit of time and credit. I'd like to see if he's got a plan B or not in this league. It'd be great. It'd be great to see. I think most of the fans will stick with them. If we're struggling come December, January time and we're bottom of the league, with the mugs that still go week in, week out, I'd like to see what happens then. Like, I'm interested with things like that. We get a gate over 1,000 now, on average. So hopefully we maintain that and just get behind them, really. You always get people at the football club thinking we should be competing, mid-table into the playoffs, but that's just unrealistic, I feel, unless you have an absolute wonder season. But I think I'd break it into 2 halves of the league, and you finish in that second part of the league and midway down, you've done great, and you go again. So it's going to be fun. I think the away days, we've already booked up Bath away and Torquay away, and Western-super-Mare, and make a weekend of it. So that's what I think most of the fans are going to do. And I think the away followings will be a lot more, like you say, going to bigger grounds, bigger teams, and it'd be great fun. So I think at the moment, everyone's thoroughly looking forward to it and can't wait for August the 9th when we kick off. So, come Christmas time, it might be different. But at the moment, like I say, since I've joined this podcast, my speech is doing pretty easy. Like, come Christmas time, I might be depressed. There will be in my tears. But it's unrealistic, and we'll go and see what happens. And at the moment, I actually think we're maybe a player short up top, but who knows? One of these players might stick out and do something spectacular. So it's going to be great. So we'll see.
Yeah, good.
Can't really complain.
No, you can't. You've had a fantastic. It's I suppose it's that thing, isn't it, of holding on to how much you've achieved in such a small space of time as well.
Yeah,
really,
and I think it's quite cool as well. And I say I was speaking to someone the other day. I think it's quite unique at this level of football that for the last 3 or 4 years we've kept the main core of players. You always get those players that come in mid-season or whatever. Like I say, the 15 players that turned up for pre-season last year all signed on for this year. And I think that continuity and Dom loves that. He loves those same. Dom's the first one. He hates signing players. He hates them because he doesn't know. You can hear everything about them, but until they turn up, they might upset the group. These lads go on holiday. They're generally great friends. It's nice to keep that main core and see how the boys, they deserved it. So Hamo's played there before. Philpott. So there's plenty of players that have done it there before. So we'll see. Like I say, it's going to be thoroughly enjoyable from our point of view. As a fan, I'm going to enjoy it. And it could have been we could have been at home again to Dartford or something on the opening day of the season when those fixtures get released. So it's we'll make some bloody noise and we'll go for it, I think.
Oh, excellent. Well, as you're saying about the 5%, the 5% hangers on, we managed to lose that last season, funnily enough. But
they go as quickly as they come. They go even quicker. That's the thing. when things aren't going that well.
Yeah, but I enjoy it. I mean, no matter what, Rob, you've earned the right to be up there, and who knows how it goes.
Exactly, you never know. But if you look at it and you go, hey, we've done it. Chesham went up. I think we're in a better place than those teams were, and we'll see what happens. Like it's because we've never been there before. We don't know what to expect. So
yeah, exactly.
We'll see.
Right then, Rob. Well, let's go to the other Rob. So living in Terry's Manor now, aren't you? Margate, Folkestone, ground sharing. Talk to me about it, Rob. What's going on there, mate?
Okay, so we all knew that at the end of the season we were going to start working on the pitch. For some reason, I don't know exactly why. I don't think it's been communicated why exactly. I think they had some difficulties, maybe with the council owned the ground. I'm not quite sure. But anyway, so they started work on the pitch 2 weeks ago. So obviously not ideal, but the pitch is up. There's no pitch. They've lost all the hoardings around the ground. They've all gone to another club local to us. So the pitch is up, and they're in the process of taking it up and eventually putting a new one down. So the plan is, as we've been told at the moment, is that I believe we're going to play our first games away from home, and we will be playing possibly 2 to 3 games, maybe 4, depending on whether we get an FA Cup home tie, which will be at Margate. Well, they'll be at Margate. Yeah. So that was just announced the other day. We were all sort of thinking maybe it might be Ashford. So they ground share with Kennington. I wasn't really thinking Margate. They've also got a ground share going on. So I don't know whether we'll be pushed to a Sunday or whether we'll be playing more midweek or whatever. But we'll be at Margate for a bit until October. So the beginning of October, they're saying they're anticipating us being back home on the new pitch. So that's the situation with the club at the moment. It's good news because we want the new pitch. The ground's looking really well. Not at the minute, it's looking good because it's all torn up. But the ground's looking good. It looks smart. It's just the pitch. Once it gets that pitch sorted, although I'd rather play on grass, I'd rather see football on grass. Yeah. We needed it, really, I would say, because just because the pitch was awful, and no matter how much work they put in and how much money they threw at the pitch, it was just an absolute bumpy old cabbage patch. So that's gone now, and we won't be playing on grass again. Famous last words. We'll be going to Margate for a bit. And in terms of pre-season and stuff, I think we've got 12 new signings. There's been a fair few go. We haven't got a goalkeeper signed on as yet, as far as I'm aware. We've been playing trialists in all the friendlies, and the friendlies have been quite entertaining. Last night we played Ashford.
2-2 kicked off, didn't it? Didn't it kick off?
It did, mate. Yeah, a couple of times. It went from about 5 minutes into the game. It was a really needly game, and it wasn't like a friendly at all. Really, it wasn't played like the referee let a lot go, which I think sort of came back to bite him on the backside in the end because the discipline went off the pitch, which is a bit weird because it's a friendly. But you'd rather go to a game where it seems like there's something on it, even though there isn't.
Absolutely.
And they were going for it. The players were going for it. There was a couple of crunching tackles in the game. I mean, real crunchers. There's a red card, and the lad who got sent off, Santos, his name, he's a midfield player. Very, very skillful footballer. He wouldn't have been able to play on our old pitch. He got clobbered just before he got sent off. He got clobbered, and
then the mist descended.
And within 2 to 3 minutes, he'd gone through the back of someone, and it was a second yellow. Oh, it would have been a straight red, to be honest. And he got his marching orders. So like I say, loads of new signings, and just looking forward to tomorrow when the fixtures come out. I don't know, is it the same for Hastings? Do your fixtures come out tomorrow as well?
Yeah.
Thursday, 2 o'clock.
I know that and all.
Yeah. So looking forward to that. But
different fixtures though, Rob. Different fixtures, mate.
But you're going abroad, aren't you?
Yeah, I've got. We've already paid up for that, mate. FA Trophy. There's about a good 11, 12 of us on one I think is it about 11 on the flight over. Got over Friday, going on the Friday, coming back to Sunday. That will be beautiful. That proper
That will
away
be
day.
cool. Yeah, exactly, mate. So yeah, we got a few trips to Thanet this season because we got Margate. We're playing at Margate a few times, and we obviously got Ramsgate. That'll be a good derby.
Yeah.
Particularly looking forward to like St Albans and just the normal ones like Dulwich. I like going to Dulwich, even though they don't watch the game. It's a good place to have a drink.
Good, yeah, good people
train
watch.
trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, just looking forward. I've missed it. I've missed it when it finished. I was glad it finished, but now we've had a little break. I'm desperate to get back, and the friendlies have been quite enjoyable. So hopefully we start off well and have a good season eventually when we get into our.
What's your manager saying then? Because you keep talking about you're going to be knocking on the door, not you personally, but you for the money you spend, and you spend a fair few quid. Like there's got to be sort of results at the end of the day. I mean, you're definitely batting below what you should be, Rob.
Yeah, I think you're right, mate. Yeah, you're definitely right. We should have performed better than we have done, and I'm hoping this season he makes it happen. This is his first. He did take over the last few games of the season, but he's getting his players in now. We're starting to see a different style of play, trying to play a bit more football, and I mean, he's got the job and he's expected to deliver. Well, I'd say minimum's playoffs. I said that last season as well, and we were nowhere near it. We were 12th and we finished 12th the season before. So yeah, we got to be knocking on the door this year. I think everyone just wants to see a good season, really. It's just a decent season. Have a real go for it.
Yeah, it was good to see you at the barbecue as well, sir.
Yeah, mate, it was great. Thank you very much for inviting me. It was
That's
cool.
all right, mate. No,
that was really cool. That was a great day.
Yeah. You didn't drink out of the Horsham Tears Cup, did you? No, I think it was just me, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was just me, wasn't it?
Yeah. Rightly so as well.
But it's got to be. Wait, you'd think. I don't know. I mean, what's the manager saying in terms of has he said at least playoffs this season, or has he kept quiet?
No, he's pretty. Without saying it explicitly, he said that. He knows there's pressure. There's pressure on him to perform. I know he's the manager they wanted, and they've got him now. And I think he expects it as well from the players. So it's good to have a bit of pressure.
Yeah.
So he hasn't actually said about promotion. He just said, we want to push towards the top of the table. But
he's a politician.
He's all very well saying that.
He's a politician.
Yeah. No, he's pretty direct. He said last night, I watched a video. He said he was going to trim all the fat out of the. They got loads of trialists at the minute. He's going to trim all the fat out of the squad, and we're going to have something that resembles his type of team. And I can sort of see the way they want to play. And like I say, as long as we have a real good go at it, no one will be, everyone will be happy pretty much, especially with our new pitch and, it's progress, isn't it? So, yeah.
100%. Oh, okay. Yeah. Good to hear, Rob. Right, let's go to John. John, obviously, your boys stayed up last season and we went down. It was a tough season for you. I mean, obviously, you won a trophy last season.
We did, yeah. Out of all the trials and tribulations, we managed to escape that season with a bit of silverware. So yeah, that's definitely something to look back on. It may be a memory of better times.
Pete Taylor's in charge now, isn't he?
Yes, we've somehow unearthed Peter Taylor. No, I think obviously the connection there is with Canvey anyway. Is I think he was someone who's associated with a youth player anyway before he went on and played professional football. He's kept in good touch with our chairman, so I think that's why he somehow worked out as the choice. I mean, I don't know whether it's been something that's maybe been in the works for a while, because it was as I said to you before, it was a very quick appointment. So it's just a case of now he's in the hot seat, seeing if he can bring something to what is essentially now a new side. I mean, it is all changed with us, really. Most of our squad's left with our old management team. A couple of them have joined clubs in our level. We had boys who were sort of fan favourites, things like Bradley Sage and Toby Sanubu. They've gone to the likes of #United and Abley, respectively. A couple of others have dropped down into lots of people they know as well. It's a new side we've got in. It's an interesting mix. When I think he gave his first interview, Peter Taylor, he's saying obviously we're going to have a bit of a younger core of players than we had before. which seemed to be something we were doing last season with varied results. So having that across quite a large scope of the team is going to prove to be an interesting thing. However it works or not, I'm not going to try and throw stones at them too quickly. But it's as I say, it's a lot of players that have come into that team. And I'm going to try and look at it from two ways. I'm going to try and look at it obviously from maybe my ultra realistic pessimist side, and then maybe trying to be a bit more hopeful. Obviously, with it being such a new squad and with it being prized up of primarily players who played in division below, and not so much for clubs that were putting up trees in division below either. It's boys who have not really got much experience at this level. They're obviously taking a chance on them, and maybe these players are coming in with something to prove. There's a lot of them, as you say, are still quite young. So maybe they have got raw talent in abundance. I've only actually had the chance to get over and see one pre-season game so far, unfortunately. That was our first one. We played Braintree. So obviously we're seeing quite a new squad. I didn't know a great deal, many of the players, but I thought a couple of them seemed to equip themselves all right. I think we played Enfield at the weekend as well. It was Cousins' pre-wedding thing then, and I'm unfortunately missed out on. I think we managed to get our first win as a squad last night, but I got caught up with work, providing it was against a team 4 levels below us, so we should be winning that quite comfortably. But it's morale building for the squad. It's getting their cohesion together, and I think it's going to be interesting to see how they perform. I think obviously one of the main positives we seem to have is sort of out of maybe what we have been able to take from the last few seasons. While we haven't got that core of a team anymore, which sort of picking up on what Rob was saying about how the sort of Dom over there seems to have kept a core of a side. That's what we had for quite a few years, and through the good and the bad, I think they would want to play for each other, want to fight for each other, and keep each other in good nick. So that's pretty much gone now, save for a couple who have stayed. We've got obviously a long-serving keeper in Bobby Mason. He took one season out, but he has pretty much been there for 4 of the 5 last few years. So he knows the club inside and out. He's a good goalkeeper.
Yeah.
We've managed to maintain Elliot Ronto. I think he's going to ultimately end up being the longest serving player at the club. He's been there since we had that really good FA Cup run in 2020. He's been promoted to captain as well, which I'm absolutely made up about, because if anyone in that squad deserves it, it's certainly him. He's a player I think who's pretty much played every position on the park, apart from in goal. So yeah, he's an absolute warhorse really. He's a warrior. He gets stuck in, and you can tell I think straight away he's trying to settle into that captaincy role as well. I can see that in the Braintree friendly. We managed to keep one of the younger lads up front from last year, Finn Durrell. I mean, he's still only 18, lots of raw potential there. You probably remember him from getting that winning goal against yourselves, Chris.
Yes.
One that might have died, yeah. So, but yeah,
he was employing the dark arts, and he got I remember, yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, he stayed on. And one person we have had come back, who is very much sort of a favourite at Canvey, is a boy called Michael Finneran. He was with us for quite a few seasons actually. I'd say probably about 3 or 4 seasons before we got promoted, and during when we got promotion as well. He's a Canvey fan first and foremost, so he always plays his heart on the sleeve for the club. Obviously, he's come back in, I think, as an player coaching role as well, to help out with the management team there. But he said to me when I talked to him, he wants to try and play as many minutes as he can. I mean, we have a lot of conversations. Obviously, we keep what we say sort of to each other, but I don't think he mind me saying that I think he is he seems confident in having Peter Taylor there. He's worked under him before at Malden and Tiptree. So, he's obviously someone very ingrained in it, so I hopefully take his word for it. I'll say approaching a new season. It's going to be certainly a competitive season in this league, with some clubs throwing around some very tasty budgets. 2 I heard of full time, pretty much. So it's how we compete in that. Obviously the feeling amongst the fans at the moment is, well, obviously it's still pretty much in sort of the unknown in terms of what we will have and who starts for us on the opening day. But I mean, it's a bit mixed. Obviously, some are looking at it as a sense of, okay, it's a bit of a new era. We've got a new team. Let's see what they can do, and hopefully we can maybe try and pull up 1 or 2 trees. Others, maybe myself included. I don't want
I can tell, John.
much too early. Yeah, exactly. It wasn't easy to tell from my tone of voice. I think it could be another slightly challenging season. Let's put it that way. So I think the bare minimum, again, I'd say for us this season is just survive. Try and get another season in this league. But it's going to be a challenge. I think these boys are going to have to learn how to swim quite quickly at this level. Otherwise, yeah, we could sink quite quickly.
I mean, what's Peter Taylor saying? I mean, what has he come out with? What's his sort of goals? Or, well, no, goals. Goals is the wrong word. But what's he saying to the fan base and about the players, about what they're going to do?
Well, I mean, as far as things have gone, sort of the interviews he's given so far, I mean, I'm a little bit outside the sort of club official frame now, sort of stepped down from doing the media work there. But from what I've listened to in his interviews, he's being a bit sort of keeping his cards close to his chest, I think, in terms of how we're shaping up so many targets this season. I think it's more of a case of trying to get this squad sort of up and running and up to the standard where they can, try and compete at this level, really. I mean, he said in these interviews before, and this as we were assembling a squad, really, we're losing the current crop, well, let's say the former crop now, and assembling the current one, that there were going to be a lot of younger faces come in. And it's just, I think trying to get the best out of them, really, and see what they can do. So, I mean, it's his project to undertake.
Yeah.
Big project, I think. But obviously, I suppose you look at how he approached it 1 or 2 ways. I mean, he's obviously got that experience. He's worked in football for a very long time now, managed at the top level. But also, you look at his recent track record, he hasn't been at a lot of clubs for very long in the last few years, whether that's down to, maybe not seeing eye to eye with certain clubs he's worked with, or whether he's been shown the door, I don't know.
Yeah, go on, mate, go on.
That's all right, go on. I think, so what I was saying before, obviously, it's sort of a big challenge ahead. We're essentially a brand new team, brand new management team, but we can't really sort of say, as I said before, we can't really gauge too much of pre-season. We'll see where we are after sort of 5-6 games going in. I mean, sort of feeling amongst the fan base is, as I said, mixed. Some optimists have become pessimists. Some pessimists have become optimists. So it's kind of a whole new chapter for us, really. And whatever the case, obviously a lot of the boys I know go regularly home and away. We're just going to embrace it, even if some are pessimistic about it. They're kind of look at it in the sense of, even if it's our last season in this league for a little while, then let's go out and make most of it. Let's enjoy it. I mean, we've got some good away days to look forward to, likes of Ramsgate. I've never been there before. I was delighted when St Albans got slotted into our league, because that is a cracking football away day there. So, we're just going to make the most of it. I mean, like I say, I've got a friend on the squad now. I had a couple of friends on the squads before anyway. That's maybe one of the things I was a little bit sad about with our old squad breaking up, is I got to know a few of them boys on a personal level. But there are still people there who I know who are going to want to try and give it them all. There's boys who seem to be up for the fight, who want to prove themselves, and try and embrace the culture at the club, really. So we'll just have to see how it goes. It's very much venturing into the unknown at the moment. So once those fixtures are out tomorrow, we'll see what the first 5 or 6 games throws up. It will start to take shape more the season goes on.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, one of the things I wanted to say to you before my laptop exploded was that thing of, sometimes we all get that emotional attachment if you've got a group of players there. But to be fair, last season, if it wasn't for the likes of ourselves and Hendon and that, it would have been your boys in there. So it was just that there was 4 teams worse than you last season, and that sometimes it's good for a little bit of change, a bit of move. All right, yeah, obviously you've got that emotional attachment, and possibly this could be, you never know what you're going to get. You know what I mean? Like a few fresh faces might lift that thing of, because I know obviously yourself, you're thinking it's going to be a struggle, a relegation fight. And I mean, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, isn't it? Because there's money knocking around. But sometimes people, as we all know, they'll spend big money on players that just don't perform. Spending money doesn't guarantee success at all. There's multiple.
Exactly. I mean, to be honest, we've never really had the money to throw about anyway. Coming into this league, it's only sort of gone up and up, and we've kind of stayed stable on what we've got. But even when we did come up before, we never had a great deal of big names or anything like that. We just had a good, solid core of a team. And, you know, if now, I think, obviously, as I said, there's two ways of looking at it. Obviously, you can look at it in the sense of we seem to have taken a complete step. Well, it's almost like a sideways step, but obviously recruited a lot of players that aren't used to this level, etc., etc. But on the other hand, as you say, clearly, whilst one or two things might have worked before, there were obviously things that weren't. So it's a fresh injection of ideas, it's a fresh injection of legs, and a sort of new mentality of going into it, really. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one to see. I mean, I always hope that the squad's going to do well, and I'll always, I'll say, want to back them through the thick and the thin of it. I've been there when we've had our bad moments before. In the first season, I went to watching the club. We got relegated. You know, if I'd been one of them, that 5%, as we said before, then I would have been there and then. But yeah, there are a lot of us I know who will stick with it. And yeah, we've already spoke to a couple of the boys that we do know still in the squad, one or two new faces, and they know we've got their back. So we'll just have to see how it goes.
Yeah,
see what the fixtures bring in tomorrow.
Absolutely. Right. Well, yeah, I'm going to say quickly my little Hastings bit. Obviously, from a Hastings perspective, what's the words? A season to forget. A season to forget last season. Shocking season, and because I'm going to try not to be mulling on it too much, most of that squad, if not all of it, is gone. Funny enough, watching the Whitehawk friendly yesterday, there's a lad, Finley Chapman, who's a good lad. He's a very good lad. And I really do hope he goes well. He's one of our own. And I remember going on a bit of a rant on the podcast before where I said only Louis Rogers has justified his place in the team last season. And at the Players Award, Finley Chapman reminded me of that. And just to say that he scored 2 worldies against Whitehawk yesterday. And so we've got a core of youth. We've obviously with a sprinkling, we've got I don't know how we did it, but getting Brad Barry from Eastbourne Borough, a great signing, defensive midfield player, clearly played league football, and I've only seen him at the Whitehall game, but just full of noise, full of guiding the players, just everything was better organised already. And you may think, oh, you know, you're being dramatic about it and that, but no, but obviously from last season where there was absolutely no leaders on that pitch at all, and it was just listless and we were just heading towards relegation. It's just so good to see that first of all, obviously the enthusiasm's there, but equally that there's a shape there now. There's you know, there's solidity to the team. You know, obviously friendly results don't matter, but there was a lot to like about what was going on. And it's always good to get one over on Whitehawk as well. I might have to say that, but you know, in terms of the players, you know, you've got some of the younger lads that are there that we give old Jamal Labanga some time yesterday, and you know, I hope he's got more games in him, but he's got to do more. You know, there's we've actually got ourselves a squad now. And, you know, so there's a bit of pressure. We got Callum Barlow back from Whitehawk. We sent him to Whitehawk. He couldn't get in the side because David had to play. And yes, David will always score you more goal, will score goals. But as a team, we were not better for having Callum go. I think we might have stood a chance. We probably would have got relegated in the last game, maybe. Forget about that. But, you know, so we thought Freddie Legg was going, our winger. It was announced on the website that he's had turned down an improved deal, and now he's just signed a new contract. So obviously, wherever he was going must have fell through. But I don't really care as long as he you know, he seems to have that enthusiasm back in him. And you know, there was a lot to like. You know, we've got players in. You obviously got your James Holes, Dan Holes back, good lads that are going to give 110%. And you know, we're having to take a punt on a few players. You know, got like Tom Vickers in. Former Bexhill player and stuff, and we've got a lot of. We've basically rinsed Eastbourne, like Town and United. We've obviously gone through Eastbourne and nicked a few of their players. But you're gonna have to. You know, Lee Carey's come in, and he reckons we're going to get playoffs. You know, I like the sound of that. That's all I want us to do. I just want to see a bit of fight, bit with people wearing that shirt with pride, which wasn't happening last season. That's all we need. And I think the rest will follow, really. Other than that, chaps, I think, what can we end it on? Outside of our clubs that you want to mention?
Well, I guess considering the fixtures are out tomorrow, what's your ideal first day of the season, boys.
Go on, Robert. Well, Rob already knows. So,
Robbie's already
Chelmsford away.
Chelmsford, a lovely running track.
Yeah, yeah.
I want my Margate first up. Margate away.
Yeah.
Solid day out. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the weather's good.
Ramsgate.
Yeah, lovely. Good spoons there. Just so you know, excellent spoons at Ramsgate.
We already joked about the spoons, to be fair.
Yeah.
On the visiting list when we go down there.
Yeah.
I think for selfish reasons, I want a home game first, purely because I've got a friend of mine's family doing the evening. But I don't know, that first trip of the season, I love a sort of good away day somewhere. Like I say, a Ramsgate would be nice, or a St Albans. Definitely the two of the new boys I'm looking to go to in this league, or a trip down to Whitehawk or even Chichester, something like that. But you see, I've never been before as well, to be fair. So that's a new one for me this year. One of those early doors while we've still got a bit of sunshine and a bit of optimism. It'll be a good crack.
What's the season date? What day do you start?
I believe it's the night. Is it not the first weekend of August, but the second, isn't it? Sounds like the 9th, something like that.
The same as us, the 9th.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm skint now from paying for this Jersey trip, so I want some fairly close away days. Well, they are going to be, aren't they, for the South East League? But nice close one. That would be handy first up.
The bank holiday ones, wouldn't they? Closest to you?
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, no, it'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Bank holiday Monday.
Yeah. Who's your closest team this year, Chris? It was Whitehall before, wasn't it?
Well, you obviously got Ashford. That'll be the one, really. That's the one that most of us, we thought we were above Ashford, really, and we've been brought back down to that's the thing. A few of our lot did get a little bit, a bit above their boots, and it's always good to get your medicine occasionally, and just be like
the territory, didn't it?
Just that thing of actually being the privilege of being up in the Prem was good enough. So one thing I haven't mentioned is obviously Chris Taylor's plaque. I think it's going to be hopefully going to be put in first game of the season. There's I think Johnny Wills and Chris Taylor's wife are sorting that out. Hopefully for the first game of the season, have something in the Cole Warren maybe, or the Steve Smith. I think it's the Cole Warren stand they're going to be putting it in, so which is nice. I think the club are going to get that in, so that'd be nice for obviously Chris, who sadly passed away at Chatham. Yeah, it was a bit of a season, but now I'm positive. I'm thinking I've got good vibes about this lot, and which is let's see if I'm saying that in a few months. But yeah, no. Thanks for your time, boys, and your patience, and well, see you again soon, and see you at the game. Yeah.
Yeah. See you again soon.
Yeah,
Take care,
boys.